All right, so now we want to look at the Frost Bar in person. What do the effects do? How does it look? What can we get out of it? So first things first, just with it on white, we've got the backlight, okay? And I've got here my studio, I've got my studio lighting on, but not my main front light because it's really wide and super, it washes out everything. Unlike lighting on a stage would be when you have these type of bars, okay? So we got the backlight, I actually have that up here, so I'm just gonna dial in some color. It's got red, green, and blue LEDs. And as you can probably see from the cameras, it makes a good mix of colors, okay? When it comes to the pixel mapping, this is where it gets really interesting. So the background can pixel map and the foreground. So if I go, I've got the background up only here, and I start to place some pixel maps on it. Oops, let me clear my programmer actually. So now we get some pixel maps running on it, okay? Each segment works individually. Let's look at a couple different looks, okay? To be 100% honest, just when I look at the market, I look at other units, other stuff we can sell through Learn Stage Lighting Gear, we can help you get a great price on. You know, even if you just use this light for the pixel effects like this, okay, it's already worth what they're asking for. I mean, really, to have something in a PowerCon case, you know, metal case, PowerCon, low fan noise, and to get this level of pixel mapping, already, if you look at other stuff on the market, you really can't get it for this price, okay? And so this is just the backlight, okay? But we can also pixel map the front light, okay? So let's turn off our pixel mapping, and we're gonna turn on the front light. Now on my camera that I'm in here, I mean, look at this. If I bring this to full, it is obnoxious, okay? True, if I had front light, I'd be able to bring it up a little higher. So I'm just gonna bring it down a little bit so you can see it a little better. We've got some atmosphere, some haze in the room. I'm going to pump a little bit more. And so now you can really see how this guy works, okay? The front light, just to give you a quick overview here. The front light has red, green, and blue, and white, okay? So it's got red, it's got a nice green. I'm just doing this on the color picker. Blue, and onyx. That's still a little bright. That's at 15%, y'all. Up a little bit. Make some nice colors here. And white. You can see it can make a kind of decent warm white. As we get into this, there's a couple things I want to note. Actually, let me go over to the camera quick. So what we see here is, first of all, through the air, through the haze, if you see that, look at that. These look really, really nice. Great, tight beams. Being that it's a little bit of a budgety fixture, it's at a low cost. The beam is tight. The LEDs, you can definitely see the colors split out in the beam a little bit. It's not perfectly homogenized. But for the price, there's nothing that even comes close to this light. So I don't really hold that against it. Because ultimately, if you want something that's cool and pixely, a little bit of color separation between the red, green, blue, and white LEDs is not going to kill you. If that's a huge issue for you, you need to spend more money on a pixel mapping bar. This thing is really great for the price. Okay, and so say I take it and I tilt it right in my eyes at the computer. No, you can see here. Look at these beams; they look really nice. Now let's run some pixel maps on. Okay, so we'll go ahead here, get them pixel mapping. So there's my first pixel map. Looks awesome in the air, looks awesome on the unit. I can turn off the backlight too. It's pixel mapping right now. But if we turn it off, then the fixture kind of goes stealthy in a sense, where you don't see that frosted lens. There it is back in. It's subtle. It definitely, the lens with the lights definitely doesn't stick out that much. But the lens by itself does look really nice. Now let's go ahead and look at some other pixel maps here. As we go through these, you can really see a really cool variety and just how cool this looks in the atmosphere. And of course, I mean, you don't have to pixel map it, but you know, you lose a lot of the fun. And there are some inbuilt macros and stuff, you can call those up. So you definitely can get something even if you don't have a pixel mapping engine in your console. Get a little more atmosphere here in the room. This fogger dissipates pretty quickly. So as you can see with this unit, the Frost Bar FX from Eliminator, you really get, here if I angle it a little better, you really get some great looks. I mean, this thing could look great on your stage, whether it's just the standard, you know, kind of back and straight out. You could take it overhead, pointing down like this, see the haze like that. You could do the real popular look in the church world right now, where you take the fixture behind you and have it pointing up. I mean, look at those beams. Look at that for a second. You know, not only do you get some backlight, right, on your presenter, but you also get those really nice beams coming through the air. Okay, let's take a look at that with my front light on real quick. All right, so I turned my front light on. I've got some haze here, so it's a little smoky going on. I may have put a little much in the air. But you can see this front light comes in at about 40-foot candles, which is pretty darn bright. It's brighter than a lot of smaller bands and churches are running their lighting. Let's be honest, or it's equal to, okay? It's washing all over this area through here, that front light is, so that messes with the look. But you can see, boom, bring this guy up to full, run some pixel maps on it, and you get some really cool stuff in the air. And actually, the lack of separation in the pixels does give you some cool looks because you kind of get some movement in there. So while, yeah, you know, it is a liability, right? It's you know, a downside that the LEDs are not perfectly homogenized when they come out of the lens, the red, green, and blue. It brings some cool movement to it. It's not bad. I think you can use it to your advantage. Okay, let's look at a couple more of our pixel maps. And so you can probably start to see why I'm really liking what I'm seeing with this Eliminator Frost FX Bar. As I mentioned before, guys, we're dealers for Eliminator for the whole ADJ group and most of the brands you see out there. And if you're in the US, we would love to be your equipment dealer. If you see this light and you say, hey, this looks cool, head over to LearnStageLightingGear.com. We'll have a link below to the site as well as this specific light and its brother, which just has white LEDs on the front and has the color mixing LEDs for the backlight. We got both of them there. You can fill in how many you want, request a price quote, and we'll send you your personalized quote. Until next time, thanks so much for watching. Remember, all opinions are my own, and I did buy this fixture. That's important to say as well. And I hope you have a great day. As with everything in lighting, I always think with any light, unless it's just completely junk, which this is not, you know, there's always a really great use for it. And, you know, the bottom line with this light from Eliminator is when you look at everything you get and the cost you pay, it's an incredible deal. Is it right for everyone? No. But for the right person, small to mid-sized band or church, this is a really cool light that does some really interesting stuff. Okay, check it out on the site, and thanks for watching.